Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today we're getting into this is I don't want to call it oxygen pump. It's like an air pump, but it's not an air filter for my fish tank, which you see behind you. I'm going to use it for the two that are actually in the background. And then obviously once I unbox this, I'm going to actually set it up and show it to you guys in actual real time. Try to get through this package. It's weird. They put a sticker on, the Amazon sticker on here, which this was not the outermost box. So I'm kind of confused on why they did that. Very weird. So this is just stuck to it. So that's kind of weird how that happens. I can't really see the details of the front aspect of the box, or is that the back? Okay. So the main reason why I purchased this, I've done filterless. So anyone who's been watching the channel knows that I've done filterless for my tank for a long time. I have beta fish, and that's been the deal. I haven't had any really issues as far as this main tank with a lot of plants. I tried to do another tank and it had some ups and downs. And I realized that when you're doing this type of tank, the water is stagnant. Now I've known that for a long time, and I didn't have an issue with that because I realized after doing a lot of trial and error, well, now I won't say a lot of trial and error, but after some experience of learning this, I realized that if you have enough plants, it doesn't matter that the water is stagnant. It's still going to be oxygenated enough, along with the fact that if you have the correct kind of fish that don't require a lot of oxygen. So in particular, beta fish and goldfish, because I have beta fish and two goldfish inside there, a couple of beta fish, they can actually breathe from the surface of the water if they need to, if it's a low oxygen environment. Well, and keep in mind that they live in the types of areas like lakes and stuff like that, or, you know, things of the sort where you don't really have running water, which is fine. The thing about it, excuse me, was that for the tanks that I had, my other tank, which I was trying to start growing some more plants, kind of use it as like a kind of harvesting tank or something of that sort. I then ended up putting another set of beta fish in it. And even though they did pretty good, they ended up having babies, and the babies didn't last. In my initial setup, the babies did last. Well, not all of them, but some of them. Some of them I had to remove. But the point is that I think maybe lack of oxygen in the tank during that setup played a bit of a role where the adults don't have a problem living, but the the babies didn't. And then in addition to that, later on, my fish ended up getting, everything seemed well. They were doing okay. I ended up getting new female beta fish after that to match with the male in that other tank. And I don't know if for whatever reason they didn't end up surviving. Some of them just after a couple, maybe a month and a half, 2 months, they got, I'm not sure what it's called. They call it ick, I think, a common disease for beta fish. So I don't know if poor circulation would have helped that or not, but it was definitely something that I was considering in that tank, which was not as developed as the tank that I have here. So this is the brand, HITOP. And sorry for all the rambling. I just wanted to get into the reason for me purchasing this. HP 204. I'm not really too sure if that's the amount of power that it produces. I'm going to put the link in the description below. Obviously, I purchased it on Amazon. You can see the stamp on it. And this went for about 14 and some change. And so I guess you could use this in a filter setup, but as standard, it just really comes as something to push air into your tank, just so it's flowing and oxygenated. I'm not using this pump for the purpose of putting a filter in the tank, because I don't want a filter. I want to remain it to be filterless. And part of the aspect that I enjoyed about the filterless was the idea that you could let the tank sit and it does its thing, and you really didn't need any maintenance on it to sustain the life in it. Also, I didn't want the loud sound of normally filters. Now this is supposed to be pretty silent, but also I don't have this set up in my room. Now my other tank was set up inside my bedroom, and so for that reason, I definitely wouldn't want to put this on that tank, even though that was the tank originally that I was having a small bit of an issue with, I think. this just gives you some instructions. You can pause this and read for yourself. So pretty much what this is pretty much talking about is these things called check valves. Now, when I was researching this, I saw it on a video that I was checking out, but I was previously not aware of this because I've done, you know, I've had pumps before for in the tank, and I never really had that issue, and I don't ever remember having these kind of things connected either. So sorry about that, guys, with the whole focusing. So this right here is the check filter. I'm sorry, it's called the check valve. It's essentially so water won't come back down. So it's if your pump is lower than the level of the fish tank, then you would use this. If it is higher than the level of the fish tank, let's say if it's on top of the mesh top of your fish tank, then you would need to use these. So I'm gonna make sure to install these and then kind of get everything going, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like after I get it all installed. Okay, so we're back. This is the tank, obviously. Don't mind that when the water starts to evaporate a little bit, you get that kind of line, what I call that again, when you say it in a tub, the ring, bathtub ring or whatever, so it's like that. But anyway, you can't see it from this angle, so I'm gonna go on that side. But the reason why I put it inside the back right corner is because I don't want it to disturb too much of the flow of things. It's just to kind of get the surface tension of the water to kind of break up, because sometimes when you have a stagnant water type of tank, the water just, it's sitting still and it starts to get almost like when you look directly above the tank, you see almost like a film over the tank. And it doesn't really disturb anything. It doesn't bother anything necessarily, at least not that I found. These fish that are in this tank have been in here now for a pretty long time. Well, this particular tank, I did a review on when I set this tank up, so I don't remember exactly when. But in general, these same fish have been alive, especially the betas, have been alive since over a year. So over a year and a half. So that doesn't affect them. But with that being said, you know, I still, so the tank setup is fine like that, but I just wanted to get a little bit of that water running just for the purpose of, like I said, just enhancing it a little bit. So here we go over here now, and one of the snails got himself flipped upside down because of the pump. I guess he went over towards it and then got himself flipped over. So he's kind of floating around and about. I'm guessing he's gonna sink soon enough. But this is the setup there. So it just takes a little, what do you call it? Suction cup, and you're able to attach it. I'm sorry that I didn't show the pieces outside when I unboxed it, all the little, those little things as well at the time, but the little pumps, but you can see them here. And so you can adjust the force on it. I don't know if this is considered a lot of force, a little bit. The other pump is here. I'm gonna lift this up just so you can kind of see it a little better. So it's in the back there. You can see it's not disturbing the water too much, but it is making the water flow. You could see it. Here, my fish just wants attention. You can see the water, the little particles in it is moving. So that's how you could tell that it's flowing. Normally that's not the case at all. And it, like I said, it creates a stagnant film over everything. This is gonna at least be able to break that up a bit. It doesn't have to shake up all the water everywhere, but it still creates a level of movement. So that way, when the stagnant part finally makes its way over here, if it has a film, it'll be broken up when it reaches this over here. So like I said, this is $14 and some change. I think it was a pretty good value. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna adjust the rate of the pump. Now I turned it, and this is supposed to be a higher level, and it definitely is louder now. And I'm gonna turn it back to bring it down a bit because I actually don't need it at that level. So right now I'm turning it clockwise before I turned it counterclockwise. And they say you got to turn it a lot, and I could see that too. You do have to turn it a lot to get the actual effect. Now that brought it back down, so it's definitely lower. I don't need it to be, sorry about that. I don't need it to be really any higher than what I have it. So for me, this is fine. Let me make sure that the, yeah, this, my suction cup on my thing detached, but at least it's still in a good place. So I don't really have to do anything with it. You could see here, it's slightly moved from its position, but that's fine. As long as it doesn't come out of the water, which it's not going to. And it's gonna serve its purpose. Like I said, I don't need it to do too much. You are able to change its rate, so that's a good thing. And that was just a quick look at this pump. As always, you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.